So I had a bunch of lumber left over from various construction projects that I had dried out inside of the house. First thing I did was jointed one side with the jointer, and then after that was finished, I planed it down to 2 3/4 of an inch. Once I got it planed down to 2 3/4, I ripped it on the table saw down to 1 inch strips, and then I took those ripped pieces back through the jointer and planed them down to 3/4 of an inch. The cabinet door that I'm making is 17 7/8 by 29 1/2. So I use the chop saw to cut down pieces of wood to size, and then I use the Craig jig to put pocket holes to join the pieces together. Once all the pocket holes were drilled, I ran each board through the table saw with a dado blade. Then I glued and screwed 3 sides of the door panel frame together. You want to make sure that you don't put all 4 together. You do have to leave one open to slide your panel in. For the raised panel, I basically did the same thing with scrap lumber and planed some boards down to 3/4 of an inch, and then I used some clamps and some glue to glue them together. Once the panel was all glued and dried, I cut it down to size, and then I clamped a board onto my table saw on an angle and used it to shape the raised panel door. Once I finished shaping the door with the table saw, I used a random orbital sander and sanded down the face of the door panel. I finished off the edges of the door panel just by sanding it by hand, and then once I had it all sanded, I slid it into the door frame. All that was left to do was glue and screw the final piece into the door and finish it off with some sanding. These cabinet doors look great once they're finished, and they can either be stained or painted. If you'd like to see more videos in this series, check out my YouTube channel and take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe.